The months that followed were made of apologies, of silences that hurt a little less each time, and of learning to walk forward without looking back every 2 steps. First, I went to see Matteo. I found him in his garage, grease up to his elbows. I apologized for letting things grow out of control and for not being clear about what I wanted or what I felt, or what I thought I felt. He listened without interrupting, wiping his hands on a rag that was already more black than clean. Little by little, the crease between his brows softened as I spoke. In the end, he said,
"It's okay, Camila. I guess it wasn't all your fault. I only saw what I wanted to see too."
We shared a short hug, the kind that closes wounds without promising anything more. We never became close again, but running into each other on the street no longer hurt. With Eli, it was different. I found him at the last page after closing time. I apologized for the same things. He smiled with that gentle sadness he always carried and said,
"Don't worry about it. I thought the long looks and the quiet moments meant the same thing to both of us."
We drank cold coffee and said goodbye with a take care that sounded like a timeout, but not like a door slammed shut forever. The following months I devoted to something else, working on myself, not in that fake social media quote way people love to repeat, but real work, effort, sacrifice, corrections. I started going to church on Sundays with Mrs. Miller. I helped paint the parish hall, took Kafia to doggy daycare so he could play with other crazy huskies. I made a promise to myself to call my parents every week. We'd never had the best relationship, not everything was my fault, but it was definitely something I wanted to fix. I guess that's what being a responsible adult actually means. One night I told them the whole story, the house, the boys, the demolition, of course. I spared the details about whether the house seemed to be alive or things like that. I didn't want to seem like I'd lost my mind. My mother cried. My father only said, "Come whenever you need to, your room is still yours." For the first time, I felt like I had a home in 2 places. During that time, Lara and Matteo started dating. At first it was, "Let's grab something after I leave Camilla's place." Then it became, "Let's grab something without Camila." One afternoon I saw them holding hands in the square, and I smiled like an idiot. Sometimes the universe fixes what you break, just not always in the way you expect. And then July arrived. I had 2 months left on my contract, and the little blue house was about to turn to dust. One Saturday afternoon the doorbell rang. I opened it and there stood Eli, shy smile on his face, holding a book.
"It's out,"
he said simply, handing it to me. His first novel, The House That Learned to Say Goodbye, in the dedication he had written, "To see and to the house that taught us how to let go. Thank you for letting me in." "This doesn't look like a horror book," I blurted out, smiling awkwardly.
"Dark romance, well, not that dark. The protagonist falls in love with the ghost of a man trapped inside a house."
"Oh, I remember that one. It was one of your earliest stories. So you turned it into a novel."
Yeah, turns out the small press preferred this side of me. They wanted to play it safe, their words, not mine. Personally, I would have loved for my professional debut to be my cosmic horror stories, but hey, I'm not going to complain about success.
I gave a small smile and noticed something slightly different about Eli. He seemed a little less shy, and I liked that a lot. I invited him in, and then I felt it. The house changed. Nothing dramatic, just the light turning a little more golden, the air a little warmer, the floorboards stopping their usual creaking beneath our steps. When Eli sat on the living room sofa, Kafia walked over, licked his hand, and lay down at his feet as if he'd always belonged there. Pretending, as usual, to be the best trained dog in the world whenever someone other than me was watching. We talked about everything and nothing. His book, my new projects at the publishing house, how Lara and Matteo were officially a couple now. We laughed. There were long silences that didn't hurt. When he stood to leave, he paused for a second at the door.
"I don't know what's going to happen with this place,"
he said, nodding toward the house.
"or with us. But if you ever feel like having coffee that isn't a goodbye, you know where to find me."
I smiled. "I know," I said while blushing. He walked down the gravel path. The house seemed to sigh content. That same week the official letter arrived. Eviction scheduled for September 30th, demolition to begin October 7th. I stood there staring at the paper with Kafia leaning against my leg. The house didn't cry. It just stayed quiet, like someone who has already made peace with their decision and is now waiting for mine. And I stood there thinking, was there any way to save her?